everyone, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Susan Timchak and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I'd like to welcome you here. If you're brand new to here, be sure to hit the red subscribe button along with the little notification bell right next to that. Click on that to receive notifications when I upload new videos. So I'm here continuing my technique booklet that I've been working on. These are techniques from A to Z. We're kind of jumping around a little bit. I got tired of doing a lot of the A's. So I've been doing a lot of faux lately. So my next technique I want to share with you is another oldie but goodie. It's called faux tile. Now I will be uploading on my blog at stampin2creates.blogspot.com or blogger.com, you know, one of those. And I will have the typewritten directions on there that you can go to, just copy and paste if you want to make your own little technique book. And you can do this whatever way you want. If you want to make it in the small 4x3 size that I'm doing, or if you want to do a 6x6 size or 12x12, however you want to do it, whatever works for you. This size works well for me because it's a good size. So this technique is called faux tile, and here is the technique. Doesn't it remind you of like a beautiful bathroom stall, like a wall inside a one of those fancy places like at Caesars in Las Vegas to have the beautiful tile everywhere? Well, we're going to make our own. You can make it any color you want. So this is called faux tile. And what you're going to do is you're going to use either white or vanilla cardstock, and you're going to score every ½ inch in both directions, and that creates a grid. And you can also do it diagonal if you want to do that there for a little variation. Then you're going to lightly sponge or stamp a background. I did both. And stamp your main image, not with too much pressure, over the grid. The recessed lines should not be inked to give the illusion on tile. So I kind of went a little heavy-handed on mine, but we'll see how the next one works out. Maybe the next one we'll just do the stamp on it and see how that looks. Okay, so here we go. Now you can use your scoring tool if you have that. I have our beautiful paper cutter today, so I am going to use that. And I have my 3x4 piece of very vanilla cardstock that I have cut down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the 1, and if you notice on our paper cutter we have both a scoring blade, which is the lighter one, and a cutting blade. I'm going to move the cutting blade down at the bottom where you can't even see it, out of the way. I'm going to score it at 1, and then I'm going to go in to ½ inch. Okay, so there you have ½ inch, ½ inch. I'm going to turn this around. I just have to do it that way. I don't know why, but to me I have to do 1 and then the halves. So we're just going to go along every ½ inch, 2 and 2.5. Then we're going to flip this. We're going to go back over at the 1 and score, and then move down to the ½ inch. Flip it around to do 1.5, 2, oops, 2.5, 3, and 3.5. So there you have it. Can you see that? Let me try to get that. There you go, a little bit you could see. So it is scored. You can see the other side there too. So we have that all scored. So now let's do stamping, and we'll see how that works first. So the stamp set that I'm working with today, this is called our Rooted in Nature. This is a two set stamp set. It is clear mounted, which in the new catalog there will be our cling mount, which will be beautiful and lovely. Same stamp set. Let's hope it comes back. There are also framelits to go along with it. So I thought I didn't want to use a big image because we're only working with a small little piece of cardstock here. So I thought this little leaf here would be perfect for what we're doing. Okay, so I already have it mounted, and I'm using soft suede ink. I had to look on it just to make sure. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm just going to stamp. Oh, look at how pretty that looks. And stamp. And stamp. So there, it looks like a little tiled image. I do like the sponging though. So I think I'm going to go ahead, bring in some crumb cake, And I have another one that I already did. So let's move this one aside. So we're going to bring in some crumb cake. Now I do have some of the soft suede on there, but that'll be okay. So let's do some sponging on here. So we're going to lightly sponge on our piece that has already been scored. Just lightly. Then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to show you the other side that you can, this is a, a whole other side. So there we go. We have a little bit of sponging on there. Now you can really see it. Now if you flip it over, we have a raised image here. You could even do it this way as well. This is where, instead of having like a grout look, this is like a more, well, what do I want to call that? It's embossed more that way. So here you can see there's the back where it's like a grid and the raised part is there. Okay, so let me just go along the edges a little bit with a little bit of the darker ink. All right, so there's that. Now let's go ahead and stamp our image. Yeah, I like it when it's sponged and stamped. Personally, I like that. So we'll go back and do that to the other one too. There we go. Look at that. Let's go ahead and add some sponging to this. I just, personally, it's up to you how you want to do it. If you want to do both, or you just want to do one, or just the other, totally up to you. You rub some of that off. And just going to go over the top of this. I really like this technique. I think this would make a really fun card. You could even make it look as though it was a like a wall, like I said, from a bathroom, or like a brick wall or something like that. That would be really fun too. Okay, let's get our pieces in to mount this on. And you want to be careful. This is scored, but I think we'll be okay. So usually you don't like to run too much pressure on that area, but I think we'll be just fine. So there's that. Then I have my little sheet with my instructions. I want to do one of those too. Should have put a little more on there. And this corner's lifting a little. There we go. Okay. All right. So there we have our faux tile little technique. And we're really filling this book up. Boy, this has been a lot of fun. There's our linen, which is my last one I just did. So you want to check that out. Now, unfortunately, some of these pages are like full size. So you have to just be careful a little bit with that. But I can always take my fuse tool and fuse that. So that will give myself, a line going down with my fuse tool. That's a whole other tool. It's not Stampin' Up, but I'm sure a lot of you, if you're crafters, you do pocket letters, things like that, you probably are all familiar with a fuse tool. Let me get that little puppy in there. Seems to be stuck on something. There we go. Now, if you really want to save yourself on cardstock, what you can do is you can take, let me pull one of these out. You can take your technique and you can actually just glue your little piece right on the back of there like that, if you choose to, and then slip it in your book. The only thing about that I don't like is that you're flipping back and forth to see the actual technique. So I chose to do separate pieces only because I just didn't want to have to flip back and forth. Okay. But that's totally up to you if you want to save. I like where you're looking at the book, and here's the technique, and here's your sample. Here's the technique, here's your sample. I like it. I like doing it that way. Okay, so there we have our faux tile, and I really think that came out cool. I hope you like it. I hope you give it a try. Try different colors, different stamp sets, see what you can come up with. Be sure to go on over to my Stampin' Sue Creates over on Facebook and post and share some of the ideas that you're creating with this fun technique. Be sure to like, share, and comment below if there's something in particular you want me to demonstrate, to show you a fun technique. I'd be glad to do it. But I have a ton more techniques to do, and I have a big book here to fill up, and I can add more pages to this as I want. The book also is a Memories and More book that we sell in our current catalog, and any of the products you see me use here today can be purchased through my online store at www.stampinsuecreates.stampinup.net. That's a mouthful, but it's just Stampin' Sue Creates and then stampinup.net. So I hope you enjoyed this. I am really enjoying bringing you this series and teaching you a lot of fun techniques. And I hope to see you back here again real soon. Thanks so much for coming by, and have a super Stampin' day. And I'll see you back here. Bye for now.